What's going on, everybody? Hollywood Wade here, coming back with the Sound Off podcast. I'm going to go over some NFL from the weekend, some breaking news. First thing we'll start with, Amari Cooper now traded to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the Dallas Cowboys give up a first-round pick for Amari Cooper, which means that Gruden is now loaded with picks in the first round. For his first year out in Las Vegas. Who knows what he'll put together with all that. But I guess the question is, did he give up too much for Amari Cooper? Amari Cooper is a former first-round pick himself. He was drafted 4th overall in 2015. Broke 1,000 yards, barely his first 2 seasons. Last season took a dip, but I think he had some injuries. This year, not doing so well, but the Raiders as a whole aren't doing so well. So did they give up too much? That would mean to me they're definitely in win now mode. But I personally think they gave up too much. You have the Patriots give up a 5th round for Josh Gordon, who is a game changer by all means. Just a blistering speed on that man. Has some, behavioral issues. You don't have a lot of guarantees, but then you're giving up a 5th round pick. I mean, not a lot of 5th round picks are going to go on to be Hall of Famers. And the Cowboys give up a first for somebody that's at best. And I mean, I can't really put a word on it. To me, it's just not worth a first round pick. And that kind of gives you the story of the organizations. Jerry Jones giving up a first for somebody that's not really proven he's worth a first. Patriots giving up a 5th for somebody that could pay dividends if they stay on the field. So if they don't work out, they don't really lose a lot. If the Dallas Cowboys don't work out with Amari Cooper, they're going to lose a lot because probably they're going to have a high draft pick because, they're not very good. This is why they haven't gotten back to the Super Bowl. This is why they haven't went deep in the playoffs. Jerry Jones, I believe, has lost the feel for football. He's lost the feel to know what is beneficial to his franchise. So John Gruden got him out of the first-round pick for Amari Cooper. His brother Jay Gruden beat him in the game. Albeit bogus call or not. So basically, Jerry Jones got beat by both damn Grudens in less than 24 hours. But hats off to Amari Cooper if he wanted out of there. A change of scenery can be great for players. It can revitalize careers. Case in point would be Randy Moss, coming out of Oakland, coincidentally coming out of Oakland. Everybody was saying he was washed up. He wasn't what he once was. He was on the downward end of his career. He goes on to New England, and them boys almost cap a perfect season, broke numerous records, points, touchdowns. He had a couple good years with New England there. It wasn't just a 1 year. And he was just revitalized. It can happen. All it takes is the right system, the right people, and, you can thrive on that. Patrick Peterson also wanting a trade, has requested a trade from Arizona. That man said he's ready to get out of there. He wants to be in a better situation. Patrick Peterson is a baller. I did hear some reports saying that he was linked to wanting to maybe go to New Orleans. I would prefer him not go to New Orleans since I'm a Panther fan. That's in my division. Head coach Steve Wilkes said that he does not plan on trading the high-profile cornerback. Steve Wilkes is a former coaching staff member of the Panthers. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know what kind of money we got. I'd love to see that man in a Carolina uniform, but it's definitely wishful thinking. Look for some more trades probably to come up. We got the deadline approaching, so it's probably going to be some trades coming up here, pretty soon over the next few weeks. So be on the lookout of who may want to jump ship and get a change of scenery, change of atmosphere. Moving right along here, NFL overview scores. Mike Vrabel, head coach of the Tennessee Titans, went for it on a 2-point conversion against the LA Chargers while playing the game in London. Did not get it, wound up losing 19-20. A lot of people are going against Mike Vrabel, saying he was kind of in over his head. He didn't know what he was doing. Now, granted, if he'd have made that and won, everybody would probably be singing the man's damn praises. So, for one, I like the call. You've already kind of broken the spirits of the Chargers by getting in the end zone. They're on their heels, probably not expecting that. So if you have that play in your back pocket, if you've been practicing it, if you have it ready to go, and you can execute it fairly well, you've been executing it in practice, I don't see a problem with going for it. If you feel your team needs that boost, then go for it. He did. It didn't work out. You live to fight another day. I'm not totally against that play call. Matter of fact, I'm for it. Obviously, it's better when it works out, but, you live to fight another day. Justin Tucker for the Baltimore Ravens. They were hosting the New Orleans Saints in Baltimore. Justin Tucker has never missed an extra point in his fucking career. And here come the Saints, Sean Payton. Ravens drive down, score, almost about to tie it up, send it in overtime, and Justin Tucker slices that field goal worse than Jack Hartoonian and Caddyshack 2 would slice a golf ball. I mean, it was just crazy. If you've seen the replay and you've seen the look on his face, you know that he was as dumbfounded as everybody else of how the hell that ball curved like that. This makes like the second or the third game that the I don't know why I keep calling the Patriots, the Saints have escaped, either overtime or a loss if a kicker can make a fairly easy kick. I don't know if Sean Payton's putting something in the water bottles over there in opposing teams' kickers. You might want to look into that. We already know that man will put somebody on a damn hit list. So, you might want to check into that. I just don't get it. Those boys are lucky they got a horseshoe up somewhere that I don't want to know about. I'll tell you that. Chicago Bears almost pull off a hell of a comeback. It would have been a comeback to tie. It wouldn't have been in for the win. But they fell short. They were not sure how many yards downfield they were, but they launched it. Pretty good long pass for a Hail Mary. Pass was caught by wide receiver Kevin White at the 1, and he done his best to stretch out. Couldn't get in there. Patriots hang on to win 38-31. Now, in that, you want to take some things. Again, the Bears hung in there with the Patriots. Mitch Trubisky had a really good quarterback scramble. The yardage was only for 10 yards for the touchdown, but I bet he ran 60. He was running all over the field, managed to scoot in there for the touchdown. The Bears, even though they've lost the last 2 games, they are on the upward trend. They've just got to learn how to finish. And I think once they do that, they'll definitely be a force to be reckoned with in their division. The Colts steamroll Buffalo, who's just atrocious this year, which Colts ain't much better herself. Houston beat Jacksonville, who's completely lost their identity. Blake Bortles was benched. Quarterback or head coach Doug Marrone says that he will start at quarterback next week when they play the Philadelphia Eagles, who's coming off a heartbreaking loss. We'll get to that a little bit later on. Vikings steamrolled the Jets 37-17. Tampa Bay with a long field goal in overtime to beat Cleveland. I'm not sure how many games Cleveland has went into overtime, but it's a good many this year. I know they went in against Pittsburgh. I'd say it's probably got to be 4 games, I believe, they went in overtime. Back on Dallas, a blown call pushes them back 5 yards, and the field goal gets shanked. Now, again, when I was talking about earlier with Jerry Jones losing the feel for the game, you had a kicker that was damn near as close to automatic as you can get in Dan Bailey, and he was cut this year. And they've had some issues trying to get a field goal situation straightened out. I don't really know why you let a guy like that go. He was pretty much Mr. Automatic. Again, that's why I said Jerry, I think, has lost the feel for the game. And Dallas is in trouble, and I think as long as they got him, they're going to have trouble getting back to any sort of, promised land or deep in the playoffs or any sort of success there. Plus, Jason Garrett's ass needs to be fired. The only thing that damn man can do is clap. He's got no place in the head coaching position. It's just, his record is shit. He doesn't improve the team. He got lucky and caught lightning in a bottle with Dak and Zeke that one year. Once the league got some tape on him, Dak's horrible as a pocket passer. They're trying to give him some weapons, but it ain't going to help. Jason Garrett just needs to be fired. There's no way around it. Rams absolutely steamroll their way through everybody they come across right now. They beat the hell out of the 49ers. Rams are going to be playing football in January, folks, possibly in February. They have got to be one of the odds-on favorites. They don't really have a lot of weak spots. They roll on offense. They shut you down on defense, and they're just mean and nasty. Kansas City Chiefs straight up decimated the Cincinnati Bengals last night, 45-10. And they're a different beast with Mahomes at the quarterback position, folks. Chiefs generally the last few years, they will jump out and go on a 5, 6, 7-0 win streak. And then towards the end, it kind of fizzles out. And then when you get into a competitive ball game with some teams in the playoffs, Alex Smith usually is not able to get it done. Well, this time they don't have Alex Smith, folks. They got Patrick Mahomes, who is on flat-out fire. I mean, this kid can do it. And basically what you've done is you've traded in, your Ford Focus for a car that'll get the job done. It'll get you from point A to point B, but you've traded in that Focus, and now you've got yourself a Bugatti. It's just one badass automobile. And Patrick Mahomes is the Bugatti. I'll tell you right now, New England got all they could handle by Kansas City in Foxborough. Alex Smith is quarterbacking for Kansas City. That game is not even close. He won't be able to climb back out of that deficit like Patrick Mahomes did. He will not be able to bring that game back close. And Patrick Mahomes did it and damn near won the game. Now, as it stands right now, even with that head-to-head loss, Kansas City's still in shape to get home field advantage because they've only got one loss as to New England's two. So if they can keep that, I'll tell you right now, New England don't want any part of Kansas City in Kansas City. They just don't. Like I said, they give them all they can handle. They give them a full damn plate in Foxborough, and New England barely escaped with a win. So that's another one you want to keep an eye on too. Kansas City's definitely in the eye to be late players in January, possibly on into February. They're good, folks. They're good. So don't be surprised when they're in there pretty late and possibly hosting a AFC Championship game. No doubt about it. Now on to my game of the week with my favorite team, the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers went down to Philadelphia where they have not had much success in quite a long time. Since the 2003 Super Bowl, where the Panthers went and lost to the Pacers, ultimately on an Adam Vinatieri field goal. We beat Philadelphia when Donovan McNabb was at the helm to go to the Super Bowl. Since that time, we won one game in Philadelphia. Now, we've won some in Carolina, but on the road, we've won one game. That is not good in that span of time, folks. They pretty much had our number and a 3-digit extension to do whatever the hell they wanted to do. And it didn't look like it was going to be any different this go round. We went out there and we played 3 1/4 quarters, that makes sense, of shitty-fied football. I mean, we looked like scattered fucking ass out there. We could not tackle. We could not catch. We could not run. We didn't have good discipline. We're lined up to kick field goals and we jump off sides not once but 2 fucking times and wind up having to punt the ball. We couldn't do dick. And they couldn't do nothing wrong. I mean, they're throwing balls to the sidelines, balls in the air. Zach Ertz caught every damn thing. I think he even caught the clap out there. He was catching every damn thing so much. I mean, it couldn't make no sense. That son of a bitch couldn't be guarded. Eric Reed even tried body slamming his ass to get him out of his game, and that didn't work. So, I mean, they just worked us to the point to where when it was 17-0 in the fourth quarter, you had the whole damn Eagles offense and our offensive line over there dancing, doing some kind of ridiculous ass dance. I mean, they just knew they had that game won. Hell, I did too. I'm not going to lie. I was texting a friend of mine throughout that game, telling him how horrible the offense looked, how horrible the defense looked. I hope some people's ass got fired. I hope some people get benched. I hope some people get cut. It was a straight up damn embarrassment. However, the Carolina Panthers mantra, keep pounding. And with 10 minutes and 41 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, down 17, we finally get in the end zone. Now, folks, the Carolina Panthers have never overcome a 17-point deficit to win a game in their franchise history. That was about to change. Once we scored, Graham Gano